episode 1 of a fantasy draft here on NBA Live 18. I will be taking over a franchise and doing a fantasy draft, which, if you don't have any previous experience with that, that means you take the NBA talent pool, you throw them all into one pool, and then, as far as I know on this game, the draft order is randomly selected, and you just go through and you just draft best of the best on your team. It's a snake draft, so if you get the first pick overall, you won't get another pick until the last pick in the second round. So let's say we get started. What do you say? Okay, guys. Wait for this to boot up a little bit. Nope, we got an update. We've got an update. Okay. Update is intact. Okay. So let's see, we gotta go over to franchise mode, and we're going to create a new franchise. It's going to pull up a menu for all of your franchise settings. 4 different levels here. I'm going to go to All-Star. It's 1 tier down from Superstar, which is the hardest. League starting point, that's where you set the fantasy draft settings. So you can start during the regular season. You can start the fantasy draft, which I just got done telling you exactly what that is, if for anybody that doesn't know. And then you can also redo the NBA draft, which is kind of a different concept. As far as I know, I haven't seen that done in any other game. I could be completely wrong, but I think it's kind of cool. Like, if you're a Sixers fan, and you would have rather them take Lonzo Ball instead of Fultz, you could easily do that. Redo the draft, select Lonzo Ball, you got your point guard for the future. Season length, I'm gonna keep outside of the fantasy draft. I am going to keep this relatively realistic. Season length, 82 games, of course. Playoff series length, we're gonna go with 7. I mean, you could go through and make it shorter, winner take all game, but I'll go with 7. It adds drama, you know. Injuries on, that's realistic enough. Pre-existing injuries, we'll turn that off actually, because I mean, if you're gonna take every player and throw them into one big player pool, free agency pool essentially, you might as well just make it to where nobody's hurt. Computer progression frequency. Let's see. It says set how often the CPU will progress players on non-human controlled teams. Does not impact user teams in any way. I mean, I'll go weekly. That's fairly realistic, you know. Players progress on a weekly basis. You're not gonna have a good season, and then next season, like, put all of your upgrade points towards something and you're a ton better. I don't know. It's going to be a weekly thing. Quarter length, I'm actually going to keep that at 5, just so we can play through games fairly quickly. Simulation quarter, we'll go down to 8, just to kind of balance it out a little bit so stats are somewhat equal between computers and me. Accelerator clock, no, we don't need that since we have 5-minute quarter lengths. Free throw and shooting, we'll keep that at rating plus skill. You gotta have some skill in playing a game, you know. Fatigue on, of course. Salary cap on. Trade deadline on. Fill roster. This means a CPU will fill any empty roster spots you have on your team. I'm going to turn that off. I like to have full control over my roster. I don't really like my CPU kind of tampering with things, Resign players is kind of the same thing. I'm going to turn that off. I don't want the computer doing things behind the scenes, resigning my players. Auto progress players off again. I want to be able to go in and upgrade my players on what I think would be best for them, for my team. And then sign off season free agents. We're going to turn that off. We don't want the computer signing free agents. Why would we want that? And then sliders, you can change CPU sliders and player sliders. I haven't looked through any forums or gotten on Reddit or anything like that. I don't know what the best slider is currently to make it most realistic. I like the default. It's pretty good. But yeah, it's something to look into if you want kind of a different feel for the game. You're not really into the live feel. You can go in and change the sliders. If you think you guys steal the ball too easily, or the computer steals the ball on you too easily, you go down and change this, put it up and down. So we'll keep those all at default. Rule settings, we're gonna keep these all. It's basketball. You gotta play basketball. We're not gonna turn these in. We're not gonna turn these off. I know a lot of people will go in and change the defensive 3-second and offensive 3 seconds, so they can just kind of put their big men in the paint. They can pitch a tent and just have a heyday down there, But it's basketball. We got to keep all the rules. Keep all the rules the same. So let's move on. I believe we'll get to select a team. Yes. I'm a Spurs fan, so it's hard to pass up being the Spurs. But I think I'm going to choose a team that has a little bit better jerseys and I don't know. Let's see what we got here. I like the Kings jerseys a lot. They're pretty cool. Jazz have decent jerseys as well. Hawks always have fresh jerseys, but I'm not a huge Atlanta fan. Let's see, who else? Sixers are pretty fresh as well. Not gonna lie. Dubs, same thing. Timberwolves, I like their jerseys. I'm not a huge fan of their lime green jerseys that they just got. I don't know if everybody's seen those. If not, it's worth a Google search. Some people love them, some people hate them. I'm kind of leaning towards the hate. Not a huge fan of them. We're back to where we began. Let's see here. I think I might go OKC. Towards the bottom you can see the players. That's irrelevant because, like I said, everybody is going to be put into a player pool, a single pool. So that's irrelevant. Cap room, irrelevant. Everything's going to be reset. But yeah, OKC, I believe they're the closest franchise to where I live currently. So I think I'm going to choose them. I'm not a huge fan of OKC. But I do think their organization is pretty well ran outside of what they've been doing these past 6 months maybe. They've been kind of messing with things a little too much, and I think it's going to hurt them in the long haul. Westbrook being there for 6 more years, I don't know. He doesn't really help your team, you know what I'm saying? You average triple-double if you don't make the playoffs. What's the point, So, let's go OKC here. Let's get this moving on. So it'll pull up this main menu in this franchise. So you have a to-do list over here. All it is the fantasy draft. You can go through and look at the news if you'd like. It's not really worthwhile to go through here because, as you can see, they're talking about James Harden on the Rockets. He's more than likely not going to be on the Rockets unless they just so happen to get like a top 7 pick or wherever he goes. You can go through my team. Once again, that's irrelevant. They do have a pretty good starting 5, I'm not going to lie. Even Andre Robertson, he's not the best offensively, but You have Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo. You don't need to be that great of an offensive shooter when you have those three, you know. I would like to see them add one more big man, just so Carmelo doesn't have to play that number 4 role. But Steven Adams is one heck of a big man. He's pretty good. We'll go through this a little later. Let's jump into this fantasy draft. What do you say, guys? All right, so we got the 29th pick overall. Why you gotta do us like that? Come on, EA. Why you gotta do me like that? We'll pause the draft, give us a little bit more time to make our mind up. DeRozan went right before us. That would have been a nice player to snag. Okay, this is going to be a difficult pick here. I mean, defensively, Draymond Green is pretty solid, obviously. And then offensively, you know, he's not too bad. I don't like really putting him at power forward. I think he'd be better suit at number 3, small forward or something like that. At 6'7", I don't know. I don't like my power forwards below 6'10". So, let's see here. I like Gordon Hayward. Defensively, he's not bad. He's really not too bad. I don't really want to dip down here too much. Another thing to look at is age. Obviously, this is a franchise mode, so age is going to play a factor in here. As you can see, these guys are 81s overall, but they have them ranked above K-Love and DeAndre Jordan because they're 10 years younger. And I mean, that's just a better pick, you know. You can progress those players. You can think, I can progress this player 7 overall points within 10 years. That's doable. Very doable. So they have a little bit more value the younger they are. But, you know, I'm not a huge Draymond fan either. It's tough. It's very, very tough. Okay, let's go Gordon Hayward. Well, actually, you know what? He's an 81 overall. Can't take him there. Gotta get better value out of that. I mean, he's 27 and 81 overall. Gotta get better value. Let's go Whiteside, you know. He's an 88. 88 overall, 7-footer. He's gonna eat those boards. Let's go for it. We got like, what, 3 picks later, us. Draymond just went off the board. Wow. Alright, well, let's make this selection here. Alright. So, Whiteside is a center. 7-foot center. So let's see what we can work with here. Kemba Walker, that's not a bad pick. Andrew Wiggins. Fultz. DeAndre Jordan. You know, a part of me, Ben Simmons wouldn't be a terrible pick, but I don't want to dip that low overall. I'm going to go for overall ranking here. Between these 3, I know they're getting up there in age, but they still got a couple years left in their prime. Let's see. Let's just go to rebounding. Let's compare these. Obviously, DeAndre Jordan's going to be better at rebounding, but by how much? Man, DeAndre Jordan. He is kind of OP on this game, to be honest. Inside shot, 95. I mean, inside shot, he doesn't necessarily have a good inside shot. outside of dunking. Yeah, 92 dunk. Pretty wild. Alright, let's find these rebounding. Unless I pass. Nope. Okay, so 7-point swing. 98. That's nuts. That is nuts. That's got to be the highest, right? Yeah. Yeah, another thing, you can see down at the bottom, if you hit the square button, you can sort through a category. So say I want a really good 3-point shooter. Hit square. J.J. Redick is the top shooter currently. But yeah, I just like to go over here, and I usually go to pick. It's usually what I do. So they're saying Kemba Walker should go here. I think I'm gonna go 2 big men. You know, 2 big men, roughly 7 foot each. Nobody's gonna score inside on us. That's all I gotta say. Nobody's gonna score inside on us. Okay. Let's see who's on the board. As again, you can kind of see how age plays a role into drafting. Tatum and Gordon are both young players, and they're 3 overall points below Patrick Beverly and Jeremy Lin. They're both 29, so that's kind of why. Again, you have 8 years to kind of get 3 points to kind of balance that out. That's very doable. Okay, so we have 2 centers who are going to play the 4 and 5 roles. They'll kind of just rotate through there. Kind of need somebody on the perimeter. You know, should we just go defense? I'm kind of thinking if we just get defense all over the place, it might be beneficial if we can just lock down the computer. We might be good. And if that is the case, I'm definitely gonna go Patrick Beverly. You know, I'm not sure. Just looking at what I got here, Jason Tatum would be a decent player to get. Not too bad. But you know, I think I'm gonna go guard here, and I'm not too big of a fan of any of these other guys sitting here on this list. Let's go Patrick Beverly, age 29. Again, he's got a couple years left. We'll be fine. Alright, Tatum's still there. I'm going to snag him. That's kind of who I was looking at this last round. So let's make that quick selection right here. So we need a 2. That is the last position we need currently. And you know, since defense has kind of been the theme here, I think it'd be nice to have Marcus Smart back up Patrick Beverly. He's got good age. They're both somewhat similar players, and he can kind of back him up, and we'll always have a lockdown number 1. Lock down that point guard position defensively. That goes a long way. Still, we need a 2. Tim Hardaway Jr. What a joke. Kyle Korver's getting old as heck. No, thank you. I like Belly. I like Belly a lot, but again, he's kind of getting up there in age. Kind of pass on that for now. You know, there's not too many great shooters here. Let's get back up to the top. That's tough. Shump. You know, I kind of need a better shooter. Better scorer than 75. You know, I could always put Seth at number 2. He kind of just sit there and hit down some threes. You know, we could get this kid too. He's got 2 years on Curry. He's got better size. He's a little bit better shooter. Let's see what his 3-point should be. Pretty good stat. 89. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's grab him. Okay, I believe Crab. Could be wrong. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name, but I'm gonna go with Crab. Yeah, he's a shooting guard. So we have every position and 1 backup point guard. So he's kind of working more backups here. I like to kind of go for younger players as backups. And then you need 1, maybe 2 veteran players that kind of come off your bench and just kind of get things heated up, you know. Backup center, decent age. He has the same kind of play type as DeAndre Jordan, and especially Whiteside. He'll be a good backup, so we'll grab him. This team's defense rating is going to be off the chart. Like I said, I'm a Spurs fan, so I'm going to come down here and snag Jonathan Simmons. He can drive down the lane and lay down a nasty dunk. Get our bench rocking. 91 dunk. Look at that. Let's get it. Alright, so we need a backup 3 and 4, I believe. Looks like there's a bunch of point guards here. I'm going to have to sneak down here a little bit to grab a player that I want. It's a lot of point guards. A lot of point guards. David Lee. Let's see what his defensive rating is. Needs to be a little bit better than that. Kind of doing him dirty on this game. Getting kind of to those veteran players here. Let's see. You know, I am not sure who to take here. I might go up and snag another point guard to kind of rotate in at that 2 position. We get a good shooter. I'll keep Solinger in the back of my head. Maybe snag him with my next pick. Let's see. It's tough. Get a point shooter. Let's see what his 3s are. He's got pretty good perimeter defense for being a shooter. Good perimeter. Good speed too. I like that. 85. What's his size? Probably smaller. 6'6". Not bad. Pretty good size. 3-point shot. Passed it. 77. Mid-range 84. Not very good at driving. Man. See, for a wing shooter, that's not very. It's not very good. We'll go up here and grab I like Tyus Jones. And kind of upgrade. Yeah, he's a slasher, so he should be good. He's not that good at driving. See, I don't understand some of these architect types for these players. Let's get Holiday. We can always upgrade 3-point shot. Not bad. Not a big deal. Alright. Let's see if we can come down here and let's see. You know, these picks get tough. I believe there's 15 rounds total. Let's see what we got so far. Let's kind of refresh our minds a little bit. We got Whiteside, we got DeAndre Jordan, Patrick Beverly, we have Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and then rounding out our last starter, we got Alan Crabb. So yeah, we'll kind of just rotate down low. We'll kind of get the minutes to where Whiteside, Jordan, and Biyombo, they can kind of just split time in thirds just about. I'll give my top 2 guys a little bit more minutes, but I want to keep them fresh throughout the course of the season. I'm gonna get one more big man to kind of get in there too. And then Patrick Beverly and Marcus Smart can rotate. I'll give Beverly just slightly more minutes than Marcus Smart. Tatum will kind of just have that number 3 role throughout the entirety of the season. I'll kind of put Simmons in there too. I think he's more of a small forward anyways than a shooting guard. And then Crab and Holiday can kind of rotate that shooting guard position. I got pretty good age. Oldest guy, 29. That's what it looks like. I'd like to grab one more guy at least that's kind of Tatum's age, between that 19 to 21 age group. At least one more player like that. Again, we need one more big man. So we got to work with all these point guards up here. It's driving me nuts. Let's sort by overall. Point guard. David West, old as dirt. No, thank you. Bogut, it's getting up there, Nage. Not a huge fan. Not a huge fan of Bogut. I'll pass. See, it looks like all these big men down here are all in their 30s. So I'm not really sure what to do with this. I'll grab Solinger. Yeah. Decent height, 6'9". Should be pretty good rebounder. I think I'll probably upgrade his offense to begin with. Defense doesn't look too bad. 72 compared to all these other people up here. It's not too bad. Let's see. I'm going to look at this rebounding statistic real quick. Where are you at? There we go. 77. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's going to be our fourth man down low. Pretty good 77 rating. Alright, we got 5 more selections, fellas. So we'll see what kind of shooters we got here. We do need another small forward. Let's see. He's projected 14th round, so we'll wait a couple more rounds to grab him. He can be our backup for Tatum, I believe. Yeah, not bad. Let's see if we can get. It's kind of interesting to go through here. Wow, that's pretty good defense for a playmaker. See what his stats look like here. We got 85 speed, pretty solid. Average vertical, good stamina. Strength. He's shooting guard. Doesn't need strength really. Can work on his shooting a little bit. Subpar. Pretty good drive. Pretty good dunk. So yeah, I mean, if you guys, I'm sure most of you guys know this. In the NBA practices, you honestly shoot. You can come into the league, not be a good shooter, and within 5 years, 6 years, you can be a great shooter. Couple examples: Kawhi Leonard, San Antonio Spurs. He came into the league known for defense, obviously. Kind of jack of all trades. He can do a little bit of everything, but he wasn't really known for scoring. Now, he can isolate just about anybody in the league, and they can't hold him. You've heard that. You've seen the commercial, I guess. Can Kawhi get buckets on Kawhi? You know, honestly, I think he can. He is arguably the best defensive player in the league, but he can still probably score on himself. If he ISOs you, he's gonna score. I don't care who you are. And same thing with Westbrook. He came in the league after 2 years of playing. He got the nickname of West Brick. That's how bad he was. So you can develop shooting, and I think that's what I'm gonna do with this guy here. You know, I'm pretty sure he's young. Let's see here, 22. Yep, it's kind of in that age range I was looking for. He's projected to go pick number 1 in the 10th round, and I'm sitting here in the 11th round, and I still grab him. That's pretty good value. If you're a fantasy football, fantasy basketball, baseball, whatever fantasy sports you want to play, you know that term value. You want to get people with good value. Come down here. Norris Cole is projected in the 9th round. If you can get him in the 11th round, why not? But in this case, I'm gonna snag Wesley here. Alright, it gets difficult here. You have to bear with me. It does get difficult. We'll go for value here. Let's see. Offensively, we already got point guards though. How many point guards do we got? 2. 1, 2. Yeah, we got quite a bit of shooting guards. We got 4. So we can get another point guard. Be our 3rd string point guard. Let's see. Kind of looking at age here. It's tough. Again, a lot of these people are going to be a little bit older. Looks like 23 is going to be the youngest age out of these top 15-ish people. So, 23 is the youngest. Yeah, I'll grab now Norris Cole. That's fine. Now let's get another big man, I guess. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Age 23. Yeah, sure. Why not? Pretty average. All of his stats right here. Offensively, yeah, his interior offense and defense are pretty good. I mean, if you look down at all these guys, none of these guys have 2 yellow traits, and he does. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good start. Kind of work with that. He's got the age too. Alright, we got 2 more picks. What do you say we grab another shooter? Small forward would be good. Man, I can't believe Mike Dunleavy is still in the league. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Tough choice. So if anybody else were to watch this and maybe want to try a fantasy draft on their own, I would highly recommend waiting towards the very end of the draft to snag a bunch of guards, because as you can tell, looking through here, these are all guards. all of these are guards. A lot of them are pretty young too. So if you can just stack up on big men, small forwards, I think that's probably the way to go, honestly, after taking this draft in hindsight. I mean, you got pretty decent players here. You got Sergio Rodriguez. I mean, he is getting a little older. Don't get me wrong. He's not bad. Denzel Valentine, obviously, Michigan State. Great leadership. Got a goofy picture there. That's just kind of his personality. Yeah, in hindsight, probably should have went more guards towards the very end, but that's okay. Let's see, I kind of lost my train of thought. What were we going to do here? Let me go through here again. Centers, we kind of go through here. We got 5 big men. That's pretty good rotation. Small forward, we need another small forward. Guard play, we've got 4 and 3. So let's get 2 more small forwards, I guess. Kind of round out our team. Let's see. I think this was the shooter. 83 overall. Brandon Rush. 67 overall. Jeez. Okay. Tolliver, he's 32. His defense is kind of lacking, though. Let's see what Caspi. Jeez. 3-point shot is 5 points below Tolliver, but his defense is better, and his age is 3 years better. 3 years better. He's a little bit more well-rounded, so we'll go Caspi here. And then let's go one more small forward, I guess. Let's just grab somebody. Well, I don't know. Let's just go overall. I don't know. Let's grab somebody pretty young. Let's see, the 37 is the oldest right here. Dang. Youngest player is 19. I don't really want another big man. Let's see. Say he's a stretch though, right? Let's see what his shooting's like. Because if he's a stretch, I mean, honestly, you can I kind of put him at that 3 position. Let's run 3 big men. That's decent. For a 7-footer, that is some decent speed. It's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Ooh, excuse me, guys. Yeah, I really like that. That shooting's pretty good. His 3-point shot isn't the best. It's a 62. But that mid-range game's pretty good. That's up there for sure. And with that age, you got plenty to work with here. You got a 7-footer, decent speed. He can hit it from just about anywhere. I'll take him. I like that pick a lot. Don't know anything about the kid, but I like that. Okie dokie. As you can see, our draft is over. So it brings you back to the franchise main menu here. Top right, it kind of keeps your record, your standing, your cap room. So we got nearly $11 million to work with if we wanted to go out and make a trade or something of that nature. Towards the left of the screen, you can see towards the top that it says you have 18 weeks until the All-Star break and 25 weeks towards the playoffs, until the playoffs. We have 2 games this first week initially. Once you play those games, you'll come down here and advance the week. You can also come down here and advance further if you didn't want to play every game. Say you wanted to play up until the All-Star game. Come to February 18th, you can advance to that date and then play maybe like 20 games. Let's see here, we got 23 games, I think, if I counted right. So you can kind of shorten your season up a little bit and kind of make that final push towards the playoffs if you wanted to kind of just speed through it. I'm not going to do that. If you guys want to tune in to episode 2, easiest way to do that, if you like this video, you can either subscribe, or you can hit that you can hit the bell notification, and anytime I go live or anytime I post any kind of video, you'll get notified, and then you can kind of keep up with what's going on with this OKC team. I like the squad I put together. I would love to hear any input. If you think there's somebody I should go out and grab via trade, or if you saw somebody that went undrafted and they're sitting in free agency, send a message, say something about it. I'd love to hear any input possible. But back to this, you can see here, you can kind of hit R1 and go to news. This alert section will give you team goals. If you hit any milestones, you can get rewards for that. Come over to news, and it kind of just shows you just random things about the draft. Essentially, you can go to all. You can kind of see where other people landed in the league. Kind of interesting. You can come to my team. Interesting. They got Stephen A. Smith. He's kind of the beat writer for the NBA on this game. It's kind of harsh. I mean, that's just him as a person, as a analyst. He's kind of harsh, but we can swing him our way throughout the course of the season, hopefully. All right, you can come to my team. You can kind of see our starting 5. It's not a bad squad, not a bad squad. And if you come over here, you can see our team roster. And then right here is very important. You can hit this upgrade point. After a couple weeks, you can come back here and see who has upgrade points. You can click on the player. So let's see, say Marcus Smart has 200 points. You can come over here, and if you're interested about him, they have an analysis of him, his development, everything of that nature. You can cut the player from here if you'd like. You can see where he went to college, how many years he's been in the league, blah blah blah. Upgrade skills. This is the most important part here. You have you have different things you can upgrade. You've got a primary skills. These cost quite a bit once you get better. Like, as you can see, he's good at stealing the ball. He's good at on-ball defense. So those are obviously going to cost more upgrade points. But see, down here, he's not that good of a three-point shooter, so you can upgrade that for 1,600 rather than 2,100. And then if you wanted him to be a little bit stronger, you can upgrade that. Actually, it didn't look like. It's kind of weird that it doesn't give you the option to purchase upgrade points there. But that's that. Another important thing about this is you have daily goals for every single player, and then you have season goals. So let's see, if Marcus Smart gets 50 assists, he gets 216 upgrade points. You can hit that mark easy. And then this first game against the Knicks, all he has to do is hit one field goal and he gets 69 reward points. And then, as you can see, against the Jazz in our second game, if he hits one three-pointer, he gets a 69-point reward. You can go to stats if you're interested in looking in stats. You can go to his career stats, playoff stats. You can go to awards here. And contract, it's important as well, for sure. So yeah, that's that. Go down here and look at your entire roster, see what you need to upgrade, blah blah blah. Another important thing to look at, which you can actually, if you look at team roster, you can hit triangle. I meant to mention that, and you can get to this option right here, which is player rotation. You can hit that, and it's just exactly what it sounds like. I'm not sure why. I guess it's red because he's in the power forward position and he's a center. I'm assuming that's what that is. Nothing really to worry about. I guess that kind of drops his overall, which is kind of dumb. But that's fine. That's okay. That might be, if it doesn't work out, I mean, we can honestly, we can trade. We can try to get K-Love for one of those two. That's fine. I'll take that at power forward. But
have you been seeing my fucking
yeah. So you can kind of go in here and change the minutes. Say I want to give Marcus Smart a little bit closer minutes to Beverly. I'll kind of give him 2 more minutes per game. And then let's drop their minutes a little bit. Like I said, I want to make them fresh for the entirety of the season. So I'll give Biyombo a little bit more. And then down here, you can kind of just play it by ear. Looks like I'm working with a 10-man bench. I like to run 12 deep if possible. But yeah, I can play with that a little bit down the road for sure. And then if you're interested, you can hit L2 and you can go to different teams, look at their roster. Looks like the Rockets landed LeBron, Gortat, and Lou Williams. That's not bad. Tony Parker's getting a little bit up there in age. Marcus Morris, not a terrible power forward. That's a pretty good starting 5. See, we kind of got done dirty. We got that 29th pick, so we didn't get very good value. See, most of these other teams have at least, well, 2 to 3 teams, or 2 to 3 players that have green ratings. See what the Spurs got. Yeah, it's not terrible. Not the best roster. Yeah, they got Belly back. Not a bad 6-man. No, Pop loves him. Yeah, I'll come down to our team, kind of just look this over. Like I said, I'll mess with this a little bit later. No need to mess with it right now. Injury reports, we've got none. Like I said, I turned that off before the fantasy draft because what's the point of drafting an injured player? If everybody's going to be a free agent, you might as well make everybody fresh. No injuries. Refresh. You can go to trades, free agents. I will address that in our next episode. You can go to player stats throughout the season, any transactions, team stats, which there's nothing to show. You can go to your schedule and your standings from here. And then you can go down to settings and kind of mess with things. I'm not going to do anything right now. And I think that is where this is going to end today. Episode 2, I will at least play through this first game and kind of mess with my minutes a little bit here and there. But yeah, if you guys are interested in me making a trade for somebody, I could get pretty decent value out of DeAndre Jordan or Whiteside. So yeah, just leave a comment, or I guess that's about all you can do is leave a comment. I appreciate a subscription, obviously, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, just so if you like this pilot episode, next time I stream episode number 2, you will get notified, and kind of go from there. I appreciate all the views, guys, and I am logging off. Thanks a lot, guys.